There's a specific moment when a younger woman decides you're not an option anymore, and most older men never see it coming. It's not your age, it's not your appearance, it's something you're doing without even realizing it. Let me be honest with you, age itself isn't the problem. There are men in their 40s, 50s, even 60s who naturally attract younger women, not through tricks or tactics, but through presence, confidence, and emotional maturity. But there are also men who unknowingly sabotage themselves. They carry habits, subtle behaviors that broadcast insecurity, desperation, or a lack of self-awareness, and younger women pick up on these things immediately. This video isn't about manipulation, it's not about changing who you are to get someone, it's about awareness. Because when you understand what turns attraction off, you gain the power to show up as your best self, not just in dating, but in life. Today I'm breaking down 7 unattractive habits that older men fall into when they're interested in younger women. These aren't obvious mistakes. They're quiet patterns that chip away at your masculine presence without you noticing. If you've ever wondered why things didn't go the way you expected, this might be why. Let's begin. Mistake 1. Trying too hard to seem young. Here's the truth. The moment you try to act younger than you are, you lose the very thing that makes you attractive in the first place, your maturity. Younger women aren't drawn to older men because they want another peer. They're drawn to the calm, the confidence, the groundedness that comes from experience. When you start using slang that doesn't fit you, dressing like someone half your age, or pretending to love things you don't actually care about, she sees through it. And worse, it signals insecurity. Imagine this, you're on a date, and you keep bringing up how much you relate to her generation, how you're not like other older guys, how you still party and stay out late. You think you're building rapport, but what she hears is, "I'm uncomfortable with who I am." That's not attraction, that's second-hand embarrassment. The truth, your age is not a weakness, it's your edge. Own it, speak from your experience. Let your maturity do the work. Because the man who's comfortable in his own skin will always be more magnetic than the one pretending to be someone else. Mistake 2. Overcompensating with money or status. Listen carefully. If the first thing you lead with is what you own, where you've been, or how much you make, you've already lost her respect. Now, I'm not saying success doesn't matter. It does. But there's a massive difference between being a man of value and advertising your value like you're afraid she won't notice. When you constantly bring up your car, your career, your trips, your possessions, you're not demonstrating high value, you're revealing that you don't believe you're enough without those things. And here's the psychology. Younger women meet men with resources all the time. What they rarely meet is a man who's present, who listens, who makes them feel seen beyond the surface. That's what creates real attraction. Picture this scenario. You're at dinner. Instead of asking her about her world, you spend the evening talking about your business deals, the places you've traveled, the things you've accomplished. You think you're impressing her, but she's checking her phone under the table because she's bored. A man who's truly confident doesn't need to prove anything. He's already at ease with himself. And that ease, that quiet self-assurance, is what pulls people in. Let your presence speak louder than your resume. Mistake 3. Acting like her father figure. This one's subtle, but it's deadly. There's a fine line between being protective and being patronizing, and many older men cross it without realizing. When you constantly give unsolicited advice, correct the way she does things, or speak to her like she's a child who needs guidance, you kill the sexual tension. You shift from potential partner to parental figure. And no woman is attracted to someone who makes her feel small. Let me give you an example. She tells you about a decision she made, maybe something related to her career or her personal life. Instead of listening and respecting her autonomy, you interrupt with, "Well, here's what you should have done," or "Let me tell you how the real world works." You think you're being helpful, but what you've actually done is positioned yourself above her. You've turned the interaction into a lecture, and attraction dies in lectures. Here's what most men don't understand. Younger women are not looking for a father. They already have one. They're looking for a man who treats them as an equal, someone who respects their intelligence, their choices, their independence. Yes, you have more life experience. Yes, you've learned things she hasn't. But wisdom shared with humility is powerful. Wisdom forced onto someone is just arrogance. Be the man she wants to learn from, not the one she feels obligated to obey. Let me take a moment here and go deeper, because there's something underneath all of these mistakes, something most men never confront. The real issue isn't the habits themselves, it's what drives them: fear. Fear that you're too old, fear that you're not enough, fear that if you don't perform, prove, or impress, she'll see the truth and walk away. And that fear, it poisons everything. It makes you try too hard. It makes you talk too much. It makes you shift into roles that don't serve you. Entertainer, provider, protector, teacher, anything except the one thing that actually attracts her, a man at peace with himself. Here's the paradox. The more you chase validation from her, the less attractive you become. The more you rest in your own value, the more she feels drawn to you. Attraction isn't built through effort, it's built through presence. So ask yourself, are you showing up as a man who knows his worth? Or are you performing for approval? Because she can feel the difference. Mistake 4, seeking her validation. This ties directly into what I just said. When you constantly ask, do you think I'm too old for you? Or does this bother you? Or are you okay with this? You're handing her your self-worth and asking her to carry it. That's not attractive. That's exhausting. Younger women are not responsible for making you feel secure, and the moment you put that weight on them, they'll feel it. They'll sense the neediness, the doubt, the lack of inner foundation. Here's a scenario. You're together, and out of nowhere you say, I know I'm older. Does that weird you out? She might say no. She might reassure you, but inside, something shifts because you've just planted a seed of doubt, not in her, but in yourself. And now she's wondering, if he's this insecure about his age, what else is he insecure about? Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being comfortable with who you are. Flaws, age, history, all of it. Stop seeking her approval. Stop fishing for compliments. Stand firm in your own worth. Because the man who doesn't need validation is the one who naturally receives it. Mistake 5, talking constantly about your past. Yes, you've lived a full life. Yes, you have stories. But if every conversation loops back to back in my day, or when I was your age, you're living in the past, and no one is attracted to someone who's stuck there. Younger women are future-focused. They're building their lives, exploring possibilities, figuring out who they want to become. When you constantly reference the past, you signal that your best days are behind you, and that's a turn-off. I'm not saying your past doesn't matter. It does. Your experiences shaped you, but they should inform how you show up now, not dominate every interaction. Here's the shift. Instead of saying, back when I was starting out, we didn't have it as easy as you do now, try, what are you excited about right now? See the difference. One anchors you in yesterday, the other invites her to share her world with you, and that's where real connection lives, in the present. Be the man who's still growing, still curious, still engaged with life, not the one giving tours of his personal museum. Mistake 6, being physically passive or invisible. Let's talk about something men often overlook: physical presence. You don't need to be young, you don't need to be a bodybuilder, but you do need to take care of yourself. When you stop moving, stop exercising, stop maintaining your health and energy, you shrink, not just physically, but energetically, and people feel that. Attraction is biological, it's primal, and vitality is one of the core markers of attraction. If you're sluggish, low energy, disconnected from your body, she feels it, even if she can't name it. Now, I'm not telling you to become obsessed with aesthetics. I'm telling you to respect yourself enough to stay strong, mobile, and alive in your own body. Take care of your health, move your body, stand tall, make eye contact, occupy space with calm confidence, because the man who respects his own body commands respect from others. Mistake 7, making her your entire focus. This is the final mistake, and it might be the most important. The moment you make her the center of your world, you lose her. because attraction thrives on polarity. She's drawn to a man who has his own mission, his own purpose, his own life, something bigger than just her. When you drop everything to be available 24/7, when you rearrange your entire schedule around her, when your mood depends on whether she texts back, you become background noise. Here's why. She doesn't want to be your life. She wants to be part of a life that's already full, already rich, already moving forward. Think about it. Would you be attracted to someone who had no hobbies, no goals, no identity outside of you? Probably not. It's the same for her. Stay rooted in your purpose. Keep building, keep growing. Invite her into your world, but don't collapse your world around her, because the man who knows where he's going will always be more attractive than the man who's waiting for her to give him direction. So let's bring it all together. If you're an older man interested in younger women, the key isn't tactics, it's self-awareness. Stop trying to be younger. Stop overcompensating with money. Stop slipping into father mode. Stop seeking validation. Stop living in the past. Take care of your body and never ever make her your entire focus, because at the end of the day, this isn't just about dating. It's about becoming the kind of man you're proud to be, regardless of who's watching. Women, younger or otherwise, are drawn to men who are grounded, present, and alive in their own skin. That's the real magnetism. Not your age, not your wealth. You own who you are. Walk with quiet confidence. Let your presence do the talking, and the right person will notice. The man who's comfortable with himself never has to chase. He simply becomes worth choosing.